58, 16-17. In still another Sinhalese story, a foolish king requires a payday, under penalty of death, to teach the royal white horse to speak. The wise man's daughter saves her father's life by telling him what to reply to the king. Parker, 1, 199-200, number 27. In Parker, 3, 112-113, number 204, a country girl meets a prince, to whose questions she gives enigmatical replies. He is clever enough to interpret them correctly. Page 63, 4. In Parker, 2, 7-9, number 78, a king requires milk from oxen. The clever village girl's answer is of a kind with Marcella's, our collection, p. 55. She sets out for the washerman's with a bundle of cloths, is met by the king, and tells him her father has come of age in the same manner as women, i.e., he has menstruated. For stealing eggs from under bird, see Bolpolivka, 3, 57-58. Bolpolivka's notes on Grimm, number 192, include a discussion of both the Master Thief cycle, 3, 379-395, and the Rampsinitus Treasure House saga, 3, 395-406. Two Sinhalese variants of the latter cycle, lacking in Bolpolivka's bibliography, are Parker's number 189 and variant, 3, 41-46. Here the thieves are father and son. Son cuts off father's head to prevent identification. The stories end with the exposure of the body and the escape of the son, who falls from a tree when his mother bursts into laments at the sight of her husband's corpse. For American Indian versions of the Master Thief are analyzed by Thompson, 427-429, Maliseet, Dakota, Thompson River, Wyandotte. A Oaxaca version of the Master Thief is given in Radin Espinosa, 226-227, no. 116. It preserves a number of features of the Rampsinitus story. Likewise a New Mexican Spanish tale, JFL 24, 423-424, in which, after preliminary skill tests, the two thieves rob the king. The Mexican thief is caught. The Spanish thief cuts off his head. The corpse, by order of the king, is carried through town, and the house of the mourner is marked with blood. The Spanish thief escapes by marking all the houses with blood. For the bibliography of marking all the house doors with chalk to prevent discovery, see Bolpolivka, 3, 145, note. Page 78. Not counting self. This incident occurs in a Sinhalese story, Parker, 1, 258, number 44. See Ibid. 259, for 3 variants from India and 1 from China. Comparative bibliography of this motif is given in Bolpolivka, 3, 149, note 1. Page 78. Killing fly on face. Sinhalese, Parker, 1, 319-321, no. 58. The stupid hero strikes with a rice pestle at a fly on his mother's head, and kills her. Wyandotte, Thompson, 423. The numbskull hero hits the head of a sleeping child to kill mosquito, and kills child. Ojibwe, Laidlaw, 63. Flies on baby's head, killed with rubber boot. Page 87. Add to the bibliography of the Magic Ring cycle 3 American forms of the story, French-Canadian, Micmac, and Maliseet, analyzed by Thompson, 398-399. An interesting Sinhalese version is Parker's number 208, 3, 127-131. Here a lazy prince buys a cobra, parrot, and cat. From the Snake King he receives a ring by means of which he can create anything he wants. He creates a palace and a princess. The princess and ring are stolen by an old woman acting as agent for a king who came to know of the beautiful princess, hair floating downstream. Through the aid of his faithful animals, especially the cat, which coerces the king of the rats, the hero recovers his wife and magic object. See also Parker's extensive notes, 131-135, for other Oriental versions. Page 114. See Bolpolivka, 3, 483-486, for notes on Grimm's fragment, The Louse. Bolt and Polivka, 3, 84 to 85, give brief notes on Grimm, number 134, mostly in the nature of addenda to their notes on Grimm, number 71, with which this story is closely related. 3 American Indian variants of Grimm, number 71, are analyzed by Thompson, 346 to 347. For a Negro version from the Bahamas, see MAFLS 13, number 20. Page 125, line 21. 4. Diego and Juan, read Diego and Pedro. Page 128, note 3. Dar. Farnham presents a fuller and more recent study of the cycle of the contending lovers in Publications of the Modern Language Association, 28, 1920, 247 to 323. Page 128. Full bibliographical treatment of our Type 1, A Creation of Woman, may be found in Bolt Polivka, 3, 53 to 57. Page 133. Bibliography of Grimm, number 124, will be found in Bolt Polivka, 3, 10 to 12, of Grimm, number 129, Ibid, 45 to 58. Bolt and Polivka are of the opinion that Grimm, numbers 71, 124, and 129, are all related, 345. A New Mexican Spanish variant of Grimm, number 129, JFL 24, 411 to 414, tells of 3 brothers sent out to learn trades. One becomes a carpenter, another, a silversmith, and the third, a thief. They are tested by the king, who is satisfied that they have learned their trades well. A Negro version from the Bahamas, MAFLS 13, 43 to 44, no. 23, tells of 4 brothers who went out and became skilled, tailor, robber, thief, archer. Skill test with egg, stealing from nest, shooting it into 4 parts, stitching egg together, replacing under bird. Rescue of princess stolen by dragon, stitching planks of shattered ship together. Very close to the Bahamas tale, except in the denouement, is a Sinhalese story, Parker, 233 FF, number 82. 4 princes set out to learn sciences, the first learns sooth, the second, theft, the third, archery, the fourth, carpentry. They are tested by their father the king, stealing egg from crow, cutting it with arrow, repairing it, and restoring it to nest. They then search for and bring back the queen, who had been stolen by a Rakshasa. They then quarrel as to who should have the sovereignty. In Variant A, Ibid, 36 to 39, a nobleman's 5 sons learn sciences, soothsayer, marksman, thief, runner, physician, and jointly restore a dead princess to life. In Variant B, 39 to 42, 7 princes become skilled. In Variant C, 4 Brahmins learn sciences to win the hand of a princess, and afterwards restore her to life. As they cannot settle their quarrel, they all give her up. 4 other versions, see Parker, 2, 43 to 45, 157 to 159, number 109. Page 136, line 31. 4. Tajik read Jajic. In a Oaxaca story, Raiden Espinoza, 249 to 250, no. 137, a rich compadre tries with no success to advance the fortunes of his poor compadre, and comes to the conclusion that he who is born to be poor will always be poor. A Oaxaca version of The Thief and His Master, with the transformation combat detail, is given in Raiden Espinoza, 240, number 131. An analogous story has also been recorded by F. Boas at Zunai. 3 Sinhalese versions of The Magician and His Pupil may be found in Parker, 3, 400 to 407, number 266. Many other Oriental variants are given in abstract in the notes to these stories, Ibid, 408 to 410. In JFL 31, 480 to 481 is given a Guatemala droll which is clearly derived from the Arabian Nights form of our story. For additional bibliography of the tricky thief who pretends he had been transformed into the ass which he has just stolen from the simple peasant, see Bolt Polivka, 3, 9. Related to this motif are 2 Oriental tales given in abstract by Parker, 3, 205 to 206. Page 161. Identical with our first task is one found in a Oaxaca version, Raiden Espinoza, 223, number 112. No. 109 in this same collection is a variant of John the Bear. An excellent New Mexican-Spanish version of John the Bear is given by Espinoza, JFL 24, 437-444. For American Indian versions of this cycle, see Thompson, 336-344. Page 165. For comparative bibliography of the Forgotten Betrothed cycle, see Bolpolivka, 2, 516-527, on Grimm, number 113, for American versions of the Tasks and Magic Flight, MAFLS 1354 and Superscript 2, and for American Indian versions of this cycle as a whole. Thompson, 370-381. In only 4 of the 20 Indian stories analyzed, however, does the incident of the forgetting of his fiancée by the hero occur. The first part of the Forgotten Betrothed cycle is found in an Araucano story, Saunier, No. 9, in which the hero takes service with a supernatural being, falls in love with his daughter, performs 2 difficult tasks and answers 3 questions, and flees with her in a transformation flight that ends with the death of the pursuer. In a Negro story from Bahamas, MAFLS 13, number 27, are found the tasks, magic flight, and forgotten betrothed elements. Our story is closely related to Grimm, number 82a, see Bolpolivka, 2, 190-196, for text, a story derived from Musaus. Grimm, number 197, Bolpolivka, 3, 424-443, is also related. Thompson, 410, cites a Micmac version that agrees with ours in its main outlines, a version which he believes goes back to a French original. A very brief Kootenai version is given in Boas, Kootenai Tales, Bulletin 59, Bureau of American Ethnology, page 34. See Bolpolivka's Notes on Grimm, number 108, 2, 234 ff. Page 196. The following American Indian variants of motifs found in our stories are analyzed by Thompson, 419-426. Fatal Imitation, G. Superscript 1 Maliseet, Wife, Ojibwe, Dakota, Zuni. Substitute for Execution, H. Maliseet, Ojibwe, Wyandot, Thompson River, Dakota, Tepecano, Creek, Yuchi, Jicarilla Apache, Pacholta, Chalina, Aztec, Tuxtepec. Marine Cattle, J. Micmac, Maliseet, Ojibwe, Thompson River, Dakota, Tepecano. Frightening Robbers Under Tree, F. Micmac, Maliseet, Wyandot, Ojibwe, for Ojibwe see also Laidlaw, 196. For a Negro, Bahamas, variant of G. Superscript 1, CMAFLS 13, number 41, of F. Ibid, number 46. In a Oaxaca story, Los Dos Compadres, Raiden Espinoza, 198-199, number 101, one compadre frightens a band of robbers unwittingly and acquires treasure, Sale of Ashes incident. Then follows the incident of the borrowed measure returned with coins adhering, whereupon the rich compadre tries to sell ashes, and is killed by the robbers. For bibliography of the motif coins sticking to borrowed measure, see Bolpolivka, 1, 520, 2, 6, 3, 143 n. The incident of frightening robbers under tree appears to be characteristic of the Pedro D. Erdemales group, see JFL 27, 119-134, especially 125, 133. For the Sac-by-Sea episode in the same story, see Ibid, 134. To Bolpolivka's bibliography of Grimm, number 61, should be added a Sinhalese version, Parker, 2, 116-119, number 101, which contains the rejuvenating cudgel, Sac-by-Sea, and marine cattle motifs. Page 206. In a Oaxaca story, Raiden Espinoza, 246, number 134, closely related to our number 21, a king sentences a gentleman to death for having said, El que tien dinero hace lo que quiere. This sentiment is almost identical with that found in the Sicilian story by Petra. In both, too, the device by means of which the hero discovers the hidden princess is a golden eagle which gives forth beautiful music. In a New Mexican Spanish version, JFL 27, 135-137, the hero gains access to the princess by means of a bronze eagle. Page 213. In a New Mexican Spanish story, JFL 27, 128, one of the adventures of Pedro de Urdimales is to make a pact with the devil in return for much money. In hell he wins his freedom by sticking the demons to their chairs with varnish and then frightening them with a cross. This version seems nearly related to our story. In a Tepecano tale of the same hero, Ibid. 171, Pedro frightens and beats devils with a holy palm leaf. Page 221. Add to Benfey's Oriental versions a Sinhalese story by Parker, 2, 288-291, number 141. Parker analyzes 3 other Hindu variants which should be noted. Page 222. Parker, No. 252, 3, 339-341, How Maria Was Put in the Bottle, is a close variant of Grimm, number 44. Death is finally outwitted by the hero, who persuades him to creep into a bottle to demonstrate that he had been able to enter a closed room through a keyhole. Thereafter all the hero has to do to cure a sick person is to place the bottle at his head. This detail of enclosing a demon in a bottle is found in Caballero's story. In another Sinhalese story, Parker, 3, 185-186, No. 222, a water snake, pleased by a beggar's actions, promises to make him rich by creeping up the trunk of the king's tusk elephant and making the animal mad. The beggar cures the elephant when he tells the snake to leave and becomes wealthy. Thompson, 413-414, cites 2 American Indian stories, Penobscot and Maliseet, which open with the obtaining of a gold-dropping horse from an old man because of kindness, the loss of it at an inn at the bands of a rascally landlord, and the recovery of the animal through the generous use of a magic cudgel. The remainder of the 2 stories is connected with the last part of the Golden Goose cycle, Grimm, number 64. Page 237. To the East Indian variants of this story add Parker, No. 97, 2, 101-104, in which an indigent man who frightens a yaka obtains from the demon a magic self-filling plate, a ring which when sold will always return to its owner, and a gold-dropping cow. These are stolen from him on successive days by a hatiya, and worthless imitations substituted. Then the yaka gives the hero a magic cudgel, with which he regains his magic articles. See Parker, Ibid, 104-105, for other Oriental versions. Page 247. A Sinhalese story, The Mouse Maiden, Parker, 1, 308f, number 54, tells of a princess in the form of a mouse who was married to a prince. Her permanent disenchantment is brought about by the burning of her mouse jacket. Similarly in No. 223, Parker, 3, 187-188, the youngest of 7 princes is married to a female hare, which is permanently disenchanted when her husband burns her hareskin. This story and another cited by Parker, in which the youngest of 7 princes married a female monkey who in the end proved to be a fairy and took off her monkey skin, Chile, Folk Tales of Hindustan, 54. Appear to be related to the Indian merkin cited by Benfey, 1, 251. 4 other tales of animal marriages with transformation, see Parker, numbers 151, 207, turtle, number 163, snake, number 164, lizard, number 165, frog, without transformation, number 158, bear, number 159, leopard. A Sinhalese variant of the Chastity Wager story is Parker, number 149, 2, 334-336. In a French-Canadian version, JAFL 32, 161-163, while a jealous hunchback is away from home, 3 other hunchbacks, unrelated to the husband, apply to the wife for food. While they are eating, she sees her husband returning. She hides her 3 guests in a chest, where they are smothered. The remainder of the story is regular. Page 278. Our story appears to be related to some of the variants of Grimm, No. 22, though there is little resemblance between it and the German story itself. Compare, however, an Ojibwe tale, JFL 29, 337, in which a princess is offered in marriage to whoever can propose a riddle she cannot solve. In our story it is the hero who must give the answer to the princess's riddle. On his way to court, the hero receives magic objects. He successfully outriddles his opponent, but is put in prison. He wins release and the princess's hand by means of the magic objects. C. Thompson, 415-416. Page 283. A New Mexican-Spanish variant of Juan Tenoso, JFL 24, 403-408, combines features from John the Bear. Page 284. The Iron Hans Cycle, Grimm, No. 136, Bolt and Polivka, 3, 97, outline as follows. A superscript 1, a prince sets free a wild man, Iron Hans, whom his father has captured. A superscript 2, the prince flees from the machinations of his hostile or wanton stepmother. A superscript 3, the wild man bestows on a childless couple a son, who, however, after a definite term, must be surrendered to him. B. While with Iron Hans, whose orders he disobeys, the boy acquires golden halt, and, B. Superscript 1, is either forgiven and restored to favor, or, B. Superscript 2, escapes on a talking horse. C. After covering his gold hair with a hat or cloth, he takes service as a gardener at a king's palace, where the princess falls in love with him. D. At a tournament he appears 3 times on a magnificent horse that Iron Hans has furnished him with, and he gains the hand of the king's daughter. E. He manifests his nobility as victor in a combat, as a dragon killer, as a bringer of a cure for the sick king, cf. No. 97, or on a hunt, where he disgraces his mocking brothers-in-law. F. Iron Hans or the helpful horse is disenchanted. For American Indian variants of the Iron Hans cycle, see Thompson, 350-357. Page 284, line 3. For throwing of apples to intended husbands, see Bolt Polivka, 2, 381, 3, 111. Line 16. For the branding of the brothers-in-law, see Grimm, Nos. 59, 91, 97, also Bolt Polivka, 3, 114, note 1. Juan Tenoso means John the Scabby. 2 French versions have exactly the same title, Jean Latinus, and Jean Lutignu, Bolt Polivka, 3, 99. A somewhat distant Sinhalese relative of Juan Tenoso, in which the hero is a turtle, is Parker, number 151, 2, 345-352. In an Osage Indian story occurs the release of an imprisoned monster by a boy, Thompson, 331. Page 288. For bibliography of the question, how much is the king worth, see Bolt Polivka, 3, 232. The Negrito's counter-demand to the king's third task, i.e. drink all the fresh water, is identical with the counter-demand to the task of counting the drops in the sea, Ibid, 3, 231. Page 291. Bolt and Polivka, 3, 214, emphasize the fact of the mutual borrowing of incidents by this cycle and the clever lass cycle. 2 Sinhalese stories not unlike our are given by Parker, the 3 questions, 1, 150-152, the 4 difficult questions, 153-154. Page 299, Pitong. In a Oaxaca story, Raiden Espinoza, 204, no. 104, occur the abandoned children opening, corn trail, fruit trail, ogre's house, advice of rat, ogre pushed in oven. A Chile version of Le Petit Poucet is Pinancito, Saunier, 262. The following American Indian versions are noticed by Thompson, 361-365 Thompson River, 3, Shuswap, 2, Ojibwe, Maliseet, Ponca, Bellacoola, Muin, Uintah. For a Negro, Bahamas, version of Cinderella, see MAFLS 13, number 17. For American Indian versions, Thompson, 384-385. Compare a Negro story from the Bahamas, MAFLS 13, number 14, also a Sinhalese tale, The Roll of Cotton, Parker, 1, 364 to 366, number 69, in which the two women are sisters. Two Hindu, Sinhalese, versions of the Puss in Boots cycle are Parker, number 49, 1, 278 to 283, and number 235, 3, 243 to 248. These are of extreme importance in trying to establish the provenience of our stories, for in both the helpful animal is a monkey. Both contain the incident of the borrowed measure, the incident of the killing of the demon by the monkey, obscure but unmistakable in number 49, and the claiming of the monster's palace as his master's. In both the monkey marries his master to a king's daughter. These two stories differ from ours in the conclusion: the master proves ungrateful, and the faithful monkey runs off into the forest. Again, too, in the opening, these two Sinhalese stories differ from ours. The monkey's gratitude is not motivated, the animal is not a thieving animal, hence there is no tar baby device. Page 336, Tar Baby. For the distribution of the tar baby story among the American Indians, see Boas, JFL 25, 249, supplemented by Thompson, 444 to 446. For Negro versions, see MAFLS 13, numbers 10, 11, 12, JFL 30, 171, 222, Thompson, 440. Other American versions are Mexico, JFL 29, 549, Guatemala, JFL 31, 472F. Oaxaca, Radin Espinoza, 120 to 121, 183, 197, JFL 25, 200, 201, 235 to 236. In a Sinhalese noodle story, the foolish hero joins a band of thieves and tries to steal a millstone, wakening the owner of the house and asking him for assistance. Parker, 2, 70 to 75, number 90. In another tale in the same collection, No. 57, 1, 317 to 318, a gang of robbers steal a devil dancer's box. While they are sleeping, one of their number, a fool, puts on the costume. They awake, think he is the devil, and flee, the fool pursuing and calling, "Stay there! Stay there!" This story is like our Juan and the Robbers, 348 to 349. Compare also the story cited by Parker on page 318. Since writing the notes to No. 50, I have found a Sinhalese version of the Hat Pays Landlord story which is essentially the same as ours, only a three-cornered hat, not a painted one, is the hoax. The motive of the hero's trick is his desire for revenge on three sharpers who have cozened him out of a bull which they pretend is a goat. Parker, 3, 200 to 205, number 226. For this last situation, compare our and notes. In the Sinhalese story of the bitch, Parker, 3, 102 to 104, number 201, a bitch gives birth to two princesses, who marry princes. Later the elder daughter drives her dog mother away when it seeks to visit her, but the younger treats it kindly. The elder daughter is killed by a cobra bite because of her avariciousness. This version is nearly related to Miss Frere's old Deccan story. In the latter part of a long Sinhalese story, Parker, No. 145, a king conceives a passion for the hero's wife, and resorts to the same ruse as the wicked Datu in our story, underground tunnel, and letter to parents in the underworld. The hero escapes by means of a cross tunnel, returns with marvelous raiment, provided by heroine, and news that the king's father and mother are happy. The avaricious king makes the same trip, and is destroyed. Parker, No. 146, 2, 313 to 314, contains almost the identical situation. Page 371, E. Probably the earliest literary version of the drowning turtle motif, undoubtedly the prototype of the briar patch punishment, is Buddhistic, Jataka, number 543. This motif occurs in a Sinhalese story otherwise wholly unrelated to the cycle of which this punishment is usually a part. Parker, number 150, 2, 339 to 340, see also 343 to 344. For additional bibliography of the briar patch punishment, in many of the American Indian versions of which the turtle or tortoise is substituted for the rabbit, see Thompson, 446-447, JFL 31, 229, note. Thompson, 440, also lists some American Negro variants. Page 372. With Jataka, number 273, compare a Negro story from the Bahamas, MAFLS 13, 92, number 45, 2. Skinner, JFL 32, 295-297, gives an Ojibwe story in which occurs the drowning of the turtle and the biting off of otter's testicles by the turtle. This second detail appears reminiscent of the turtle's revenge discussed on our pages 372-373. Page 379. Some American versions of the House Answering Owner episode are the following: Oaxaca, Raiden Espinoza, 184-185, 194, Rabbit and Coyote, JFL 25, 208, Rabbit and Crocodile, Chile, JFL 26, 248, a curious modification of the motif. Mexico, JFL 29, 552. In another Mexican story we find the episode of the rabbit crossing the river on the crocodile's back, JFL 29, 551-552. In a Sinhalese story of The Crocodile and the Jackal, Parker, 1, 380-381, no. 75, the crocodile shams dead. Jackal says, "In our country dead crocodiles wag their tails." This appears to me a variant of the House Answering Owner motif. Later follows the incident of the seizure of the foot of the jackal, who pretends crocodile has hold of a root. See also Parker, number 36, 1, 235f, for Deceptions Turtle Practices on Jackal. Page 381. A Oaxaca Story, Raiden Espinoza, 190, no. 94, combines an account of a war between the animals and the winged creatures, animals defeated, with a race between the lion and the cricket. American versions of the Let Me Take Your Place motif are numerous: Oaxaca, Raiden Espinoza, 121, 153, 183, 185, 197, JFL 25, 201, 236, Mexico, JFL 29, 550, Tepecano, JFL 27, 162, Negro, JFL 32, 400, 402, MAFLS 13, numbers 12, 33, 39. The following American forms of the accumulative story may be noted: Guatemala, JFL 31, 482-483, Mexico, JFL 25, 219f. Oaxaca, Raiden Espinoza, 195, number 99, New Mexican Spanish, JFL 27, 138, Tepecano, JFL 27, 175. See also Thompson, 453-454. The stories resemble ours only in general method, not at all in detail. For discussion and abstracts of some South American variants that are closer to our form than are those of Central and North America, see Boas, JFL 25, 352-353 and notes. A Curious Sinhalese Accumulative Story, no. 251 in Parker's collection, 336-338, tells how, when some robbers were apprehended for digging into the king's palace and were sentenced, they replied that the mason who made the walls was at fault, not they. The mason accused his lime mixer. The lime mixer, a beautiful woman, for having distracted his attention, the woman, a goldsmith. The goldsmith is condemned, but by a ruse succeeds in getting a wholly innocent fat-bellied Mohammedan trader executed in his place. Parker abstracts a similar story from southern India, page 338. See also his number 28, 1, 201-205, for another kind of clock story nearer the type of The Old Woman and Her Pig. Page 392. Parker's No. 107, 2, 146-149, is an elaboration of Jataka, number 374. For other Oriental variants of this theme, see Ibid, 149 to 150. For a Negro version of a flight contest, not ideological, between a crow and a pigeon, see MAFLS 13, number 53. The Upper Thompson Indians have a story of how the raven and the crow were sent out after the flood to find land. They did not return, but fed on the corpses of the drowned people. For this reason they were transformed into birds of black color, where formerly they were white-skinned, JFL 29, 329. For bibliography of the relay race motif among the American Indians see Boas, JFL 25, 249, Thompson, 448 to 449. Thompson cites 14 American Indian versions, in all but 2 of which the winner is the turtle. In one, the clever animal is a gopher, in the other, a frog. For American Negro variants, see Thompson, 441, JFL 31, 221, Note 2, JFL 32, 394. In a Negro version from Bahamas, MAFLS 13, number 54, horse and conch race, horse is defeated, and kicks the little conches to death, cf. the ending of our number 82. For a Mexican version, rabbit and toad, see JFL 25, 214 to 215. For Oaxaca, toad and deer, Raiden Espinoza, 193. In an Araucano story, Saunier, no. 11. The race between the fox and the crawfish does not assume the relay form. This and the serial numbers following refer to corresponding numbers of tails. Colophon. Availability. This text is in the public domain. First published in 1921 in the USA, so the copyright has expired. Note that the supplemental material, added for the 1965 reprint, has been removed. Scans of the original version of this work are available on and. Encoding. Editorial changes. The footnotes indicating the narrator have been moved to a byline directly under the title of the story. They also have been tagged as such. Note that this accounts for the missing note numbers. Notes have been moved to the place of attachment, within a note tag. The new preface has been omitted for copyright reasons. ID scheme. Tag. ID. Description. P hashtag. Paragraph, sequential number. PB hashtag. Page break, page breaks and footnotes get PB hashtag N. Note. N hashtag dot hashtag. Footnote, page number and footnote number. Div 1. T hashtag X. Tail number. Div 2. Special characters used. A with macron. E with macron. I with macron. O with macron. U with macron. Y with umlaut. Y with umlaut. N with dot. N with dot. Below. D with dot below. L with dot below. T with dot below. Z with dot below. Superior 0. Superscript 1. Superior 1. Superscript 2. Superior 2. Superscript 3. Superior 3. Superior 4. Superior 5. Superior 6. Superior 7. Superior 8. Superior 9. Revision history. December 8, 2008, made page numbers consistent with 1921 version. November 18, 2001, added TEI tags. External references. This Project Gutenberg ebook contains external references. These links may not work for you. Corrections. The following corrections have been applied to the text. Page. Source. Correction. Clouston, W. A. Not in source. A.